Modification of leaves in insectivorous plants. Now let us see. Insectivorous plants are also known as a carnivorous plant. Insectivorous plants are also known as carnivorous. So in the last class I have said that what are the carnivorous, what are the herbivorous and what are the omnivorous. So can you remind that what are the carnivorous? Means the animals which eat the flesh of other animals. Okay. What are the herbivorous? Means the plants which eat the animals which eat the plants are known as the herbivorous. And what are the carnivorous? Means the carnivorous animals which eats the flesh of other animals are known as the carnivorous. So insectivorous animals are also known as the carnivorous. Why? Because they feed on the insects. Most of these plants are the herbaceous and perennial with the height of and not more than 30 centimeters. They usually occur in a dumpy heath, bogs, swamps and muddy or sandy shores where there is an abundance of water but a lack of nitrogenous materials due to the unfavorable soil condition. So where this will be found where the more water is there, muddy water is there. So there this type of an insectivorous plants will be present. So you can take the example of a sundew plant. Okay, the sundew plant. So what happens? It will be just open its leaves. It will be open its leaves. Whenever maybe a small insect fall, immediately it will be close its leaf. And with the spines are there, with the thorns are there. With the spine, just it will be and suck the liquid which was present in their body like a blood. Then after it will be just open that, and due to the heat, what happens? The body will be dries up. Okay, so that is you can take the example of a sundew plant also. And as most of these plants are green, they are the manufactured through photosynthesis, poor environmental soil substitution with the dried carnivorous habit. Insectivorous plants are adapted to the trap, capture and digest the insects by making trap on a clever fir calls, and these traps are mostly modification of a leaf. So how they are? Just they are having a leaf, and just when they one small just a small insect falls on the just what the flies are, but flies are always the butterflies or grasshoppers are sitting on the plants or like that. So whenever maybe this in the sundew plant, the leaves are very sharp and spiny. Spines are present. So when they sat on that, immediately it will be closed, and with the help of spines, just it will suck the kill that, making the trap and a clever one. So the digestion in these plants are similar to those of animal. During the digestion, the end produces particularly the nitrogenous compound and a salt are absorbed by this plant. They help in the survival under such hostile environment condition. Let us study some examples of an leaf modification in these plants. So these are there are some other plants are there that are the picture plant. Picture plant. And bladderwork, Venus flytrap. There are the three types of plant. So that are one of the in a insectivorous. There are the three types of plant. So first one is a picture plant. Second one is a bladderworm. And the third one is a Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. So there are insectivorous are three types. The first one is a three types. The first one is a picture plant. Second one is a bladderworm. Third one is a Venus flytrap. Now let us see what is the first one. What is the picture plant? So the leaf is modified into a picture shaped trap and capture the insect. This the front part of an petioles is coiled like an tendrils there that hold the picture in a erect position. The leaf tip from the forms the lid. The leaf tip forms the lid. The picture-shaped leaf is filled with the liquid to passively collect the insect and digest it. So what happens in the picture plant? So there is the leaf is so the tip is so like this. So whenever maybe the insect, this is a full of an liquid. This is the leaves are full of filled with a full of liquid. So the tip is so sharp. So whenever maybe an insect flies on that, so what happens? Once the insect enter into the picture through the opening, it slips downward and it lid closes. So here is the lid. So once the insect will enters into it, it will bite because this is a full of a liquid. This is the full of an liquid. This leaf is full of an liquid. Whenever maybe the small insect, whenever maybe a small worm or a insect like the structure entering, this is full of liquid. It will slips down, and again the tip was closed. Again the tip was closed. And in this digestion, the various digestive enzymes and it uses. Now the bladder worm. So the bladder worm leaves are highly segmented and modified into a sac called as a bladder. So here let's see how the leaves are there. The leaves will be always it was opened. The leaves are always it was opened. Always it was opened and sac called as bladder. The bladder has a trap doors into which the minute organism can also go in out but cannot come out. So it is seen to an aquatic plant such as the Utricularia. If you see this, you can see. So whenever maybe the small insect will be comes inside, it will close its leaves like that, and it will be kill that insect. So this is known as an utricularia. Also it is known as utricularia. It is an aquatic plant. Aquatic means the plant which lives in water. Aquatic plant means which lives in water. So utricularia. Now the Venus flytrap. It is a plant. The edge of a leaf is a edge of an leaf has a long pointed stiff hair. The leaf blade is divided into two parts, and the midrib acts as an heel of the door. So when the insect touches the leaf, the edges of an leaf suddenly interlock and prevent the escape of an insect. So this plant secretes the digestive juices and enzymes to digest the insect. So here also, here the leaf is plant. He is a king. గోళం ఉంటుంది కదా తలుపుకు గోళం పెట్టుకుంటారు ఇంకా అంటే ఇట్లా మూవ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది ఆ డోర్ సో దిస్ leaf always moves here and there. So it is full of juice. This is filled with the full of juices. So whenever maybe a fly sat on that, just immediately it will be moves. It will be moves like anything. How the door will close and open. How it will close and so there the point which was moving, always the door will be moved up. In a position right to left, left to right, how it was moving. So like that it will be moved and the insects will be pressed down. Otherwise it will be fixed in the trap and the insect will be died. Now vegetative propagation. Now let us see the vegetative how the vegetative what are the vegetative propagation. What is meant by vegetative propagation? Now, vegetative propagation is an asexual method of reproduction in a plant. A vegetative propagation, new plants are produced from the part of an old plant, such as a root, stem, or a leaf. So, these process is known as the vegetative propagation. What is the vegetative propagation? Is the leaf, the leaf will be again reproduces from the plant or through the root or through the leaf. Okay, through the plant, which plant will be arises is a rose plant. A rose plant, we can take the example. So, if you take a rose plant, you take it, just cut it, and just you sow it into the soil. From the other part, again the plant will arise in the rose plant. And through the roots means you can take the example of a mango, okay, mango, guma, or curry leaf. Okay, curry leaf means curry. So curry leaf. So these three will be after here through the roots again the small plant, a baby plant will be arise. Okay, maybe in a mango or guma or curry leaf. So through this what happened? Through the roots, after some years, after a small baby plant will be arises beside of the plant. And through the stem means what? Through the stem, just to take an example of an jasmine. Jasmine plant water, just it was growing and climbing like this. So if you take this one of the plants, take one of the plants from the jasmine plant. This is a jasmine plant. So it is coming in some again branch like this. So what should do? Again, we have to take this branch down. We have to bend it, and this part we have to sow into the soil. Sow into the soil, and here you have to keep some weight, maybe one brick or stones you have to keep. 4 or 5 or 6 days we have to keep. Then after what happened, where the bending part is from here, another plant will be arising. So these are known as a vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is the new plant will be born. New plant will be arises maybe through the stem or a root or a leaf. So branch. So these are known as a vegetative propagation. It is also called because of a production of a new plant takes place through the vegetative parts like stem, roots, leaves, and existing plants. Vegetative propagation usually involves the growth and development of one and more buds on the old part of a plant produce a new one. These buds are the dominant of state or inactive state in the old part of the plant. So when provided with a suitable condition such as food, moisture, warm, etc., these birds grows to form a new plant. Some of the plants which are usually reproduced by the method of vegetative propagation are the rose, champa, potato, ginger, turmeric, bread. So these are the vegetative propagation will be takes place through the stem or through the roots or through the branches or through the seed also the new plants will be propagated. So that is no. There are Many examples are there. Suppose through the roots means you can take the example of a ginger. Do you know that ginger means ginger, alum. So that is ginger. If you take some part of a ginger into the soil, just you keep into the soil. Again, what happen? Again, a part will be from where you have kept from there, a root like a structures will be arise and the ginger will be go underground because it is underground fruit. Okay, it will be grows in the underground only. And a vegetative propagation in leaves. So let us see first one, vegetative propagation in a leaf, how it will take place. Just now we have studied what is the vegetative propagation. So now the vegetative propagation in leaves. Some plants produce themselves from the leaves. The leaves of some plants develop adventitious buds on them. Such leaves having the buds can be used as the structure of vegetative reproduction in a plant. So example of a plant which can be produced from the leaves are the bryophyllum. Bryophyllum is also found in the sprout leaf plant as an Kalanchoya. So these leaves of a bryophyllum plant develop some parts on the margin and the margin. So when a mature leaf of a bryophyllum plant falls on the ground, then each bud can grow into a new plant. Sometimes even before the leaf drops off from the bryophyllum plant, we can see a new plant already grown on it. So these leaves of a bryophyllum plant can produce a new plant. The young planters get their food supply from the fleshy leaf. So there is one of the leaf which is known as a bryophyllum. So through the margin also, through the margin also it will be grows. A plant will be grow. So what happened? Some all plants of an leaves are not reproduces the same tree, but also only the only the leaf of an bryophyllum only. So when you turn the plant also, after some days after it becomes an mature, it becomes an big. That the contact the roots will be produced on that and the roots again will be forms like any leaves and birds from the bird only it will be again the plant will be arised. So we can take this plant and again we can sow into the soil this one from this only a number of plant variety and plants are produced. So that is known as a vegetative propagation in a leaf. Now artificial vegetation. Artificial vegetative propagation. So the method of vegetative propagation which has been developed by man is called as an artificial vegetative propagation. The propagation which was by a man by a man is known as an artificial. Artificial means the man-made things are known as the artificial things. So here also the vegetative propagation is of artificial is made up of a man called as an egg. So these methods are like cutting, grafting, layering, tissue culture. Such methods are very useful in a garden as nurseries. So the man-made, artificial, these are again divided into three parts. First one is cutting. Second one is grafting. Third one is layering. Now let us see what is the artificial vegetative propagation. In artificial vegetative propagation, there are the three methods are there. So these are artificial means a man made. A man can made many things. Man can made many things. So this is the vegetative propagation also known as an artificial by the cutting, grafting, layering. Now let us see what is the first one cutting. In this method, the stem of a plant are cut into the small pieces. Each part of a stem must have an axillary bud and a node and internode. Each piece of the stem is kept in the moist soil. Over a period of time, root develops in the base of the stem and new develops at the upper end of it. So this method is generally used for the propagation of sugarcane, rose or bougainvillea, lemon and tamarind. So this what we have to do. Suppose just now I said for the rose plant. A rose plant is having any thorns. This is a thorny plant and small nodes will be. So this node and there is an internode. There is some of the another branch where it was arising. So this part how to tie and how to sow into the soil. There only then only the plant will be arises. Then you can take the example of a tamarind also like that and a mango also like that and lemon and tamarind, sugar cane also. You know that sugar cane is a. Do you know the sugar cane? Isn't it and how it is? Yes. So beside this, the seeds are provided. From here, the leaves will be arises. So up to it will be grows and it will be grows. The leaves will be grows like this. And from where it will grows very big, then what we will do? We will cut into this. Up to here we will cut it and take this root, this part and we will sell it or we will make a sugar or like this. And in a sugar cane. So leaf cutting is also used to produce the offspring of a plant is as a Sansevieria. So there is another plant. So there is a so in which plant we can see in a rose, lemon and tamarind and in sugar cane. So you can see this type of in cutting type of this type of you can see the propagation. Now the second one is grafting. Now let us see what is the grafting. This method is used to obtain the plant by combining the two different plants. This is called as a cycon. So without a root. So from one plant it attaches to the tied to the other stem plant part called as a stalk with a root. After a few days, this cycon and a stalk fuse a new plant develops having a characteristics of both the original plants. The cycon receives all the essential nutrients from the stalk. This method is commonly seen in a mango, rose, grape and lemon. So in a grafting method means you are taking the two types of a plant. Suppose you can take the example of a mango and lemon. Mango and lemon. So while this method is used to obtain by combining the two different parts in the method of the stem cutting called as a cycon. So in the lemon, how it will be like? It will be the tonic. So while you have to further here from where the internode starts, where the node and internode starts. So you have to take that and you have to take a mango and here we have to combine and we have to tie it and we have to sow it to the soil. So from the to the pods, so a new character of a plant will be arise. Now the layering. What is the layering is known as? In this method, a branch of a plant is pulled and it is put in a covered with a moist soil, leaving for the top part outside in the air. After some time, a new roots develops from the buried part of a branch in the soil. Now the branch is cut off from the parent plant. This part of a branches which has developed root grows and become a new plant. Layering is done in a jasmine, lemon, and a china rose. So just now I have said that in a jasmine plant, layering. The jasmine plant is a bushy plant. The jasmine plant is a bushy plant. It is grown very bushy and some branches are raising. Some branches are it will be arranged like. So if you want another type of an jasmine plant, so what should do? We have to bend this. We have to bend this part to the layer, and on this you have to keep some soil on that, and you have to keep some weight on that for some days. After some days, where the when we have to cut this, okay, we have to cut this part from here. Now this part from this, which part was bent into the soil, from here we can cut it. Now it is living independently. Now this part which was in the soil, from here again a new plant will be the roots. Here the roots will be arranged and the plant will be arranged. So this is known as a layering plant. Layering propagation. And the fourth one is a tissue culture. Fourth one is a tissue culture. Now let us see what is a tissue culture. So the tissue culture is a involved growing of a plant in a test tube under the laboratory's condition. A small piece of a plant is grown into a suitable medium in the test tube, and unorganized mass of a cell known as a callus developed from within. The callus is put in the hormones containing the medium, which is a cell differentiated and formation of a planters. So the planters develops into the independent plant when transported to the soil. A large number of plants can be produced from the tiny piece of a plant. Example, chrysanthemum. So this method of useful propagation is ornamental plants such as orchids, asparagus, chrysanthemum, etc. Okay, children. Remaining we can study tomorrow. Please open your textbooks, open your notes, and you try to draw the diagrams. Okay. In a science, half of the marks is given for the diagram, half marks. Suppose one question carries a 5 marks is 2 marks is which contains the diagram. So 2.5 marks for the diagram and 2.5 marks for the theory part you are writing the answer. So half marks we have to get, means you have to draw compulsory. So open your textbooks and whatever may be the diagrams are there, you try to draw it and color it, make your time pass and make it fun your time, and once you go and read, okay, then only you can understand. Okay children, thank you, have a nice day.